father's consent was withheld until after the wedding. He was torn apart by it. And the feelings came out in other ways. I saw all the suffering, the pain, and the guilt.
By now, Mozart had experienced an intensity of emotions which he was able to draw from and pour into his piano works. I believe it's his experience of life that gave him the ability to capture in music the sense of what it is to be human. Music where joy and pain can be experienced at the same time with equal intensity. Here's a composer writing not just to fulfill a commission, but out of great spiritual inner need.
Dearest Wolf-Earl, Father refuses to release the music you have asked for. I'm sorry, but he is really very upset. You must think of him also, of all the years of sacrifice.
It's only on reading these letters that I realised just how painful the split was between Leopold and Wolfgang. They'd had the most intensive hand-in-glove type father-son relationship. The great irony is that following the break, Wolfgang became exactly the entrepreneur that his father had always been. He set about promoting himself in Vienna as the leading concert pianist, planning not one but 20 concerts which people could subscribe to.
And the word is that the music itself is shockingly passionate.
Give it here, I'll sign it.
Oh, no, I want to sign it.
I tell you, I am the senior here.
Oh,
I insist on signing it. Thank you very much indeed.
He is, I'm told, the most extraordinary player. The music is most complex and abstract.
Too many notes, the Emperor said. Quite enough to make your head spin.
What do you think? Doing everything himself. Not only writing and performing, but playing the businessman.
And these concerts are not in theatres. No, they're in the open air. And in the casinos.
Mozart's new subscription concerts were an astounding success. They were the must-have tickets in town. Anyone who was anyone wanted to be there. He was also attracting a broader audience, the newly empowered middle classes. This was gripping music, which spoke directly to its public, a public that was already falling over itself to hear this great new athlete of an instrument, Mozart's redesigned forte piano, an instrument that was capable of taking the orchestra on equal terms in full-blooded dialogue and debate. And so by harnessing the great potency of this new instrument, coupled with his own creative brilliance, Mozart created the modern piano concerto. It's this enormous energy that pulses through Mozart's masterpiece, the D minor. He barely completed it before travelling through the streets of Vienna, followed by the instrument itself. Awaiting with anticipation was none other than Emperor Joseph II himself. But there was someone more important who planned to be there that evening.
Wolfgang and I had not seen one another for nearly 2 years, but I could resist it no longer. My son was hailed by all of Vienna, not only as a great pianist, but as one of the greatest and most controversial composers of his time.
All Vienna has heard of the concert. You must be very proud. Perhaps I may glimpse the young maestro when we arrive.
No, he won't be meeting me. The truth is, he does not know what time I'm arriving. A little surprise.
As Leopold sat listening, the music he heard defied convention. There's a new confidence here, which you hear right from the start, this incredible, audacious and weird opening. Normally when a composer starts a piece of music, he lays out his stall with the big tune. But this is a non-tune, shows supreme command. The entry of the second theme comes as a real surprise. We've been here, then new key, and now he ratchets up the harmony, raising the blood pressure. Another remarkable thing about this concerto is the writing for the woodwind. They too have achieved emancipation, a sense of liberation. Listen here to this real dialogue between the oboe and the piano. There's a great childlike simplicity to this theme which opens the second movement of the D minor. It's of the nursery, but laced with nostalgia. It's like an adult looking back at their childhood, and that sense you have as a child of placing yourself completely in the arms and the love of your protector, your father. As ever with Mozart, there's a contrast. The floor falls away from the nursery and we're suddenly in a nightmare, a tantrum, a huge conflict between the orchestra and the soloist, between father and son, neither prepared to give way, a realization perhaps of just how far Wolfgang and Leopold's relationship had moved apart. Texture and colour saturates the third movement of the D minor. Mozart working at a white heat of compositional complexity. Here he is, decades ahead of his time. To me, this has